Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. This is video 2 of, I think, 2. I was going to do 3, but no, I think I'm just going to do 2. It depends. Depends what happens. But anyway, just keep your eyes peeled. You're looking amazing, by the way. Still, Monday's treating you well. But let's get straight into it because we're talking about Chad Daybell. And this is a case that I didn't really cover. Because I found it disgusting. I weren't there from the start of it. It was before I even had a channel. And yes, I watched it. I knew well about what it was, you know, what had happened and what the accusations were. And I think for the most part, we knew they were damn guilty. But Chad Daybell, he's recently, over the last few days, not only been found guilty on all counts, which was obvious that was going to happen, but he's also now been given the death penalty. And this is where I want to touch base with you guys, the community, and see how you feel about it, what you feel about it. Now, let me just state this. I believe that Chad Daybell deserves the death penalty, and that's not what the problem is here. My problem is that Lori Vallow didn't get the death penalty. And that, for me, is a big problem. A big problem, okay? And I'll tell you for why. Because when we're talking about someone's life, when we're talking about life and someone being put to death, being executed, there is a finality to that is... That's God-like power, isn't it? To have the ability to decide who lives and who dies... That kind of power is something that we as human beings should not possess anyway. We shouldn't possess it. But if we do, then there shouldn't be any technicalities to it. There should be no grey area to it. It should be, you did this crime, this heinous crime, and the punishment for that crime is death. There's no ifs, no buts, no maybes, no technicalities, no get out of jail free cards on it. No, oh, you now don't have to because we didn't do something right or someone didn't dot their I's and cross their T's. That should not come into it. That's my mentality on it. My mentality is when it comes to the death penalty and putting someone to death, how can you have two people, the exact same crime, the exact same accusations, the tails of the head coin, if you like. There's a heads and tails on a coin, isn't there? And they were both sides of the coin. They made up the antagonists of the story. They were just as bad as one another. Some may even argue that Lori Vallow was the worst. But again, that's arguable. It's down to how people interpret what actually happened. But let's not forget that who the victims were. But anyway, I digress. I just want to know what the general feeling is in the public, in the community, the people who have followed the case all the way from the beginning. It is my understanding that, and again, I could get this wrong, but again, Lori Vallow didn't get the death penalty because of a technicality. Like, I've seen some people saying that the court system didn't do things right, it didn't do what they should have done. But I also read that it was, you know, Lori Vallow didn't waiver her right to a speedy trial. And because of that, she was entitled to a speedy trial. But the speedy trial wouldn't have given her legal representation enough time to go over the evidence, what needed to be done, and for that reason the death penalty was struck from the record. It was taken off the table, something that we've recently seen threatened in the Bryan Kohberger case, which some people saw as a weakness. You know, is that a weakness in Bryan Kohberger's case because they've said that if things don't change, if things don't come what is being requested, then they will get that struck from the record? No, because it seems that the death penalty, whether someone dies or not, can massively be dependent upon technicality, administration, admin, at the end of the day. Admin can be the difference between someone living and someone dying. And I don't feel that that is at all right. I believe that even though I can sit here with some confidence and say, and look, I've spoken about the death penalty before. I was interested in the death penalty in the United States when I was at high school, which weren't that long ago because I'm only 21. But no, I did what I suppose you would call a dissertation on capital punishment in the United States when I was but a wee 16-year-old. So it's always been something that has interested me. But like I say, that godlike finality to it, I think that there shouldn't just be where someone can say, well, this person who did exactly the same crime as this person doesn't get punished for it, and this person does. This person gets to die. This person just gets locked up and gets to carry on eating meals, watching TV, having exercise, making friendships in the showers, probably. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't seem right to me. Doesn't seem right whatsoever, and I'm uncomfortable with us being a civilization that accepts that. They don't question it. Does that make sense? I was happy that he got found guilty. I was happy that he got the death penalty, but there was that immediate, but hold on a second, that other fucking asshole, she got to walk free from that. It's like Brian Koberger in the Idaho 4 case. It's like if he would have done the exact same crime in Washington, he wouldn't have got the death penalty, or that wouldn't be on the table, because that's not a death penalty state. But yet, 9 miles down the road, you can do the same crime and be executed for it. Actually lose your life. And again, we're talking about an administration, a technicality. Earth is Earth. It doesn't fucking matter where you are on it. Do you know what I mean? You're a human being, and you're on the planet. You're on. How can 9 miles in Idaho, Washington scenario be the difference between execution and imprisonment? It makes me very uncomfortable, and I suppose this was a bit of a rant. A Chad Daybell rant. But like I say, he deserved what he got. At the end of the day, the crime that he committed was one of the, if not the most atrocious crimes you can commit. You know, the death of children. But as much as Chad Daybell was involved in that and played a part in that, so did Laurie Vallow. So if you're going to put one of them to death, you've got to put the other one to death. Or you've got to not put this one to death because the other one didn't. That's just my thoughts and feelings on it. Let me know down below whether you agree, whether you disagree, and why. Take care, guys. I'll catch you all in the next one.